Hi guys, so I'm going to try and replicate something that Rob did, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently, and I'm just going to talk through it as I go, just off the hip, and maybe try and teach you some things along the way. Um, so in 1816, Rob was working with the updating the Darwin wind turbine. Really cool video, by the way. Um, there is at least one shape that can help you out, two really, and I've got them in my favorites, and I'll show you the names, and you can search for them and find them using this right here. So the first one is going to be high resolution tube funnel. I'm going to just make one and put it there. The second one is going to be simply called tire. I'm going to make one and put it there, and they look pretty much like they're named. Okay, so for this one, I've already done the math and everything, and I know what these dimensions are supposed to be, so I'm going to run through those. It's the other things about it that I really want to show you. Height, we're going to make this 40. The bottom diameter, we're going to make this 255. Top diameter, we're going to make this 175. And the wall thickness, and this is important, even though you can go more narrow, you really, if you can avoid it, you shouldn't go below 2 millimeters. And really 2 millimeters is kind of optimal for printing walls, unless you need something that's like ultra sturdy or something like that. 2 millimeters, that's a good. Any thinner than that, and it's a little iffy. Okay, so that's it for this guy. All right, now let's move to the tire. Just bear with me. This will make more sense when we get it done. The edge radius, you see how smooth these edges are? That's useful in some situations, like if you wanted to make a tire. We don't, so I'm just going to turn that to 0. It will cause problems if I don't. Now, you see you get nice clean edges. Nice, pretty, sharp edges. Let's see, what else matters? No. No, let's go with that. Okay. This will matter, but not right now. Okay, this is 255 both ways, 40 high. So we're going to go a little bit bigger with this guy. It doesn't matter. Let's just go 260. 260. All right, there's a little tip right there. Something that, if you're looking to adjust X and Y on something, Tinkercad kind of assumes you're going to want to do that. So as soon as you click in one and you type in a number, a dimension, you can hit your tab key to go to the next one, and it's going to take you to the opposite one. Type your dimension, hit enter, and you're done. So if you want to do X and Y, that's a quick way to do it. All right, back to this. Okay, so we got two things. They're sized well. This tire is a little bit bigger than the funnel. Now let's turn the tire into a hole. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use the tire to take away the vast majority of the funnel. But the first thing we need to do before we can do that is we need to align them. So I'm going to select them, and now you can click and drag the things that you want, or you can select one, hold down your shift, and select the other. Now I'm going to align them, so I'm going to hit the L key. In this case it doesn't really matter, but let's just say I wanted this to be the stationary piece, the funnel. I would click him. Alright, center it this way, center it this way. And if you wanted to, if they weren't the same height, you could center them top to bottom to make sure you got good coverage to erase that part. Okay, so that looks good. That looks good. Alright. Here's another tip. If you trap yourself like I just did, I want to click on that funnel. But as soon as I click, the first thing my mouse actually comes to is the tire. So here's what you can do. Select it all, hold down your shift key, and deselect the tire. That leaves you with just the funnel selected. So if you get trapped like that, just know you can select it all and then hold your shift down and take off the other things. Alright, so I've got the funnel selected. I'm gonna oh no, I wanted the tire. I'm crazy. Alright, so we want to make this 315 degrees because we're going to take off the vast majority. We want to leave 45 degrees is what we're trying to do here. Alright, so if you turn it around, it makes a little more sense. So it's starting to look like the piece that Rob designed. Alright, I'm going to select those and Control G to group them together. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to rotate it just so it's nice and flush. Okay, so that's what the piece looks like so far. We've got nothing sticking under the bottom. It's just nice and flat. That's the advantage of using the top and the bottom diameters. Okay, so we need a couple of wing pieces to go on the sides. So I'm going to go back to my basic shapes and just make a few. Now Rob made them 3mm wide, and I'm going to match this for the other dimensions. Okay, so we're looking at 40 high, about 48.5 deep. All right, 40 high, 48.5 deep. Okay, but oh crap, look, they don't line up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some nice flush faces. Now we're lucky in this case because angles are our friends. We're going to take this, we're going to drag this handle 22.5 degrees, and you can see that gives us a nice flush face right there, right? This will mate up to that nicely. Alright, so let's start our first alignment, and it's just going to be a rough alignment. So if we select them both, hit the L, we want to align them on this back line, and we want to align them on this line. So that gets us really, really close, right? We really kind of wanted it to align right here on this corner, but that got us close. So what we'll do, we'll select the one, and here's a pro tip: turn it into a hole temporarily, and that helps you see through it. Okay. Make sure you got your granularity turned down to 0.1, and we're going to nudge that backwards and zoom in on that corner so that we can see. There we go. So that looks good. That looks really good. All right, I'm going to turn this back into a solid like it should be. Now, notice something. When two edges are mated up like this, you'll see in a perfect world a kind of a hash right there. And that means you're spot on. Okay, let's zoom out and let's do the other side. We're going to select all of this and Control G to group it. And there we go. We got our nice fancy piece. A little bit different way of making things, using a little bit more advanced shapes, and using the alignment tools as opposed to using the rulers like Rob did. So neither of those methods are wrong. You can use the rulers if you choose to. I almost never use them. I use them from time to time, but almost never. I like to align to pieces rather than to the grid. It's just a different way of looking at it. They're both good, solid methods. So look at what Rob does. Look at the methods that I've used and play around, and you'll come up with your own method. So, okay, that's all I've got, and thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.